Hello guys, and welcome back to another market weekly update. Uh, Today we will see some important developments that are happening in the markets. But first of all, remember, as the disclaimer says, that this is not financial advice. This is just for educational purposes, and everything that I am showing here are just my ideas, my own personal ideas, my opinion, and you don't have to follow them. It's better that you make your own research before you embark on any trading. Right. So what's going on? Let's see. Well, because there are lots of news, fundamental news, and then this is reflected on the price action, and we will have a look at the price action at the technical analysis based on this news that happened during the last week and during the weekend. Right. So first of all, I wanted to start with the dollar index, because we can see here that the dollar is bouncing back, has a positive bounce. So we see that this key level, this important key level, the dollar tried to go down from this 100 level, which is quite important, and then but now is bouncing back, and we are consolidating with strength above this level. So this, if the dollar is going up, it means that the gold and all the USD pairs are going to be going down, as we will see in a minute. So, but what is bringing this? This is where we have to go to the fundamental news that I wanted to talk about. First of all, we have, well, as we mentioned last week, big companies were having positive results. We saw that with Microsoft, with Meta, and with other of the big companies. They were presenting positive results, and then this kept a positive momentum on the stock market. Then we had we started to see during past week, some trade deals that the US was closing with other partners. For instance, the first deal they closed was with the UK. Then we saw that the stocks started to go up, and then over the weekend they were in talks with China, and apparently the talks are positive, and they are going to slash some tariffs for the next 90 days, and then they will see how are they going to continue. And of course, this since they are reducing the tariffs, they are negotiating, and everything is looking positive. The markets are reacting in a positive way to this. So it means that all stocks are going up. All stocks are bouncing from the lows that we experienced in the previous weeks, and now we have a strong positive momentum. This is also being reflected in cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin is close to its all-time high, as we'll see in a minute, and as I said, other assets are weakening. Also, the geopolitical conflicts are finding a solution. For instance, the India-Pakistan conflict was solved during the weekend. Is apparently there are going to be talks between Russia and Ukraine, so everything is looking positive at the moment, and that's why we can see a positive momentum on the markets and on the US dollar. So let's go quickly to the assets to see the technical analysis, how these news are being reflected on the charts, on the price action. So, well, as I said, the dollar is going up, therefore we will see that the gold is going down. So we had this key level mark here that for gold. Then we have this trend that both were broken to the downside. So it means that the gold is looking weak. We can see here this wick. There's a big wick with a negative candle. So this signals exhaustion. The positive momentum was exhausted, and change a shift on trends. Here we have the double top here, and then we started to come down. So it looks likely that we will visit this level. So sorry guys. So it looks likely that we will visit first this level here. So we probably see this level first, and then I better do the arrows. So sorry guys, I better check with the arrows. It's easier. So we'll see this. Oh, again, I'm sorry. Okay, so we'll probably see this first. Then maybe you see this is an important key level for gold. Let's see how things go. How the markets react to the news as they develop, then we might see a little bit of a rebound from here, and then let's see if we go down to the next level, depending if the dollar strengthens a lot or not, or if we just come down to this level, and here we find strong support and then continue going up. So that is to be seen. So at the moment, the momentum for the gold is negative, so we'll see probably this visit to this important key level, because here you see that this was another candle, important candle. So this is precisely the top of this candle, so it is very likely that we visit this level. So the silver is having the same structure, well, not exactly the same structure as well, sorry, because they didn't make an all-time high, sorry, but it is having the same momentum. So it's affected by the dollar, so then the silver is also going down. We can see that how are we respecting perfectly this trend line to the downside, and then we are breaking down from this key level, and we know that that silver has more aggressive movement, so it has more volatility, so it's more likely that we see all these candles here, that we see them filled with a negative move. But we'll see. Remember that I don't have a crystal ball. Nobody knows what's going to happen. Probably everything reverts in the in a short term, and then these trends are not going to be valid anymore. So it is better to go step by step, as I always say, and then pay attention to what's developing. The oil, you can see that we broke this trend line, and then we started to go up, because with the positive news, the oil has a positive move. So it means that the oil can come and visit this key level, which is the neckline for this, or the support for this previous support. It's the support line for this previous support. So it is likely that we visit here, and depend how things go, we might cross it, or we might bounce back, but that we'll see in the near future. So well, remember they said they are talking about 90 days, so probably in 90 days we will see, we will be close to these levels, and then we'll see what happens. So as I said, well, with the dollar going up, then it means that all the dollar pairs are going down. Like for instance, the euro US dollar, the euro is weakening against the dollar. So we saw here that we had a huge rise on the euro against the dollar, but now we are going back. Now we are covering this ground back. So now it is time for the dollar to be strong a little bit, and then that will weaken the euro a bit as well. So we are visiting, just check how precisely we visited this key level that I had marked before. So we are at the moment this key level, so we'll see what happens now. We'll see if the dollar has the strength to continue going up, and then we will see a breakdown from this key level, and then probably I mark here a fair value gap, a daily fair value gap. So probably we will come to these levels to fill in this gap, but we'll have to see. So at the moment we are still on this key level. We are rejecting. We are finding support at this key level. So we have to see if we break to the downside, or if we stay here for some time before we break, or we stay here before we decide to go up again. So we just check this level, and from this level you can you can see what's going to happen. I wanted to show all the US pairs, of course. So this is the GBP USD. We can see here how we broke this trend line as well. So because of the strength of the dollar. So here we have the likelihood. Look at how we are precisely touching the tip of this candle. So we are currently breaking down the top of this candle. So it's likely that we come to these levels and see what happens here, and maybe or even touching this important key level support zone, but we'll see step by step. As I mentioned, well, the markets are very positive. So we can see here, for instance, the US 30. Remember, this is the CFD because this shows us the move that happened in the Asian and the European markets. So how they open very positive. We still have to wait for the open of the American market, but it is very likely that we'll follow this move. So look how we broke this trend line and broke this resistance zone, and now we are positioning ourselves above this resistance zone. So we might have a little bit of a rebound or of a correction here to take impulse, and it is likely that we continue to the upside, because if we consolidate above this key level, it is likely that we will continue with a move like this to the upside. It is very likely, but remember, nothing is written on stone in the market, so just pay attention to these key levels. At the moment it's looking positive, but pay attention to what happens in the coming days. What happens with the US 500, the SPY? So here we have the same thing. We broke this trend line. We are currently breaking this key level, which is the tip of this wicks, the tip of these candles, which is an important support zone in the past, then became resistance here. On the second attempt, we are crossing it. Let's see if we manage to stay above this key level, and then we continue up to the next level. And then, well, the US, the Nasdaq is looking very strong because of the, of course, because of the tariffs with China. We know that China is a big player for the tech industry, and the commerce in tech industry with China is an important thing with all the semiconductors and chips. So that's why the Nasdaq is bouncing back quite strongly. So we see that the same, we broke this trend line, then we broke this key level, so we are going up at the moment, and let's see if we manage to go all the way up to the next key level and look for new all-time highs. The Russell 2000, the small caps, it has exactly the same trend, breaking the trend line, staying above this key level. With the US 2000, then we were sooner we were above this key level, and now we are confirming this key level. So it is very likely that the US 2000 stays above this key level, and then looking for this support resistance zone in first instance, and from here maybe looking for the really all-time highs. So, but that depends on how the things go for the rest of the year. Now, well, let's go quickly to Bitcoin. I know that a lot of you guys are excited about Bitcoin because Bitcoin's been going up and we are very close to a new all-time high. So look at this. Bitcoin is looking very positive at the moment. So we have this trend line. This is a big trend line, not big trend line. It's a high time frame trend line, which is quite powerful. That's what I wanted to say. That's what I mean by big trend line, that it is quite powerful because it's on a high time frame. So we broke this with a powerful candle. You can see this, that we broke this with a green powerful candle, and now we have all this emptiness, this fair value gap to fill. It is gonna be now, we don't know. It can be now, it can be later. So you can see here that we had these big gaps here that were not filled for a long time. Look, if you see this gap, so let's see when was it filled. It was filled until here, around here. So let's say it was 108 days took to fill this gap. So it doesn't mean, having this gap here, it doesn't mean that we will come tomorrow and fill this gap tomorrow, right? So a lot of people, I know that a lot of people are saying that now we're going too high, where we have to bounce back to the downside, but we can see clearly that it doesn't have to happen immediately. We can continue up for some time, and then later we'll come and fill in these gaps. So probably we come here now, we stay around these levels to consolidate a little bit, to accumulate a little bit, and then we target the all-time highs, and then we go to make a new all-time high. That is what looks likely at the moment, with the market being very positive. Remember that we can also, I'm not saying that it is not possible, we can come here and then we can fill these gaps directly now. So we can come and fill these gaps now, and from here decide if we bounce back, something like this, or if once we are here, if we stay low here again. So that would be the bearish scenario. But at the moment, as you know, markets are about probabilities. What looks more likely, more probable, is that we stay above this support level. So we stay above this support level, and we look for new highs. That is what's looking at the moment more likely, but we have to go step by step. Remember that you all know you have your measures to avoid unnecessary losses. For instance, if you open a trade, use your stop loss, and then in that case you are protected against sudden moves, unexpected moves against what we are thinking. For instance, you can also hedge your positions if you think that things are not looking the way you want, right? So another important development on the crypto space is that the Bitcoin dominance is been going down. We can see here that Bitcoin dominance was having an incredible rise, right? You can see here that from September 2022, we were going up with non-stop. Well, we had here a bit of a correction in November, December 2024. But then since this correction, so since January, basically, we've been going up non-stop. Now we didn't manage, we got to this level. Look at this level, we stay around this important key level. We didn't manage to come all the way up to this other level, which is an important resistance level for the Bitcoin dominance. We didn't manage to go all the way up there. So are we going to continue? Is this just a small retracement to continue going up? Maybe, we don't know. We have to check when we get to the key levels. For instance, you can see here that this can be a key level. This can be an important, because as I said, this is an important candle that made us change direction. You can see here that with this candle precisely, we changed direction. So this is an important candle. So here, well, it's likely that we come to touch this candle, and from here we decide if we break and we come to this level, which would be the bearish case scenario. Sorry guys, this will be the bearish case scenario. So this would be the positive scenario for altcoins, because this will mark a reverse on the uptrend, or the other scenario, bullish scenario for Bitcoin dominance, will be that we just come to this level, and from here we bounce back and started to go up again to touch that important key level, this important resistance. We have to see. At the moment, it's looking that we are having a correction. Let's see how deep is this correction, and from here we can we will see if the alts continue going up or not. On the other hand, ETH is having a nice move to the upside. You can see here that its dominance, it was really on the lows of the lows, so it touched like 7%. Here you see that this is a first low, and then we had the second low here on, well, even lower than 7%, 6.94%. But from here we're bouncing back. So ETH is having a coming back, sorry. And we have to see, depends on what Bitcoin does, as we saw with the dominance a minute ago. We have to see if ETH manages to go all the way up here to this key level, which will give us a big impulse for ETH. So let's go and see the chart for ETH. Look at ETH, how it was suffering a lot. ETH went down to this level, to this key level, 1,300. So which was the peak for in 2018. We revisited this level, and now from here we started to go back up again. We broke this trend line, and with the huge candles, because probably there were lots of short positions around here, and then all these short positions were liquidated, so we started to go up from here aggressively. So as I said, it is not necessary that we will come now and fill in these gaps. It might take some time until we come and fill in these gaps, but it can happen. So it can happen as well, that we come now and we fill in these gaps, right? So but at the moment it looks that we are having a positive momentum on Ethereum, so it might be that we just take a bit of impulse around here, and then we continue to this level, to this other key level around the 2,800, 3,000 area. So, and also we can see that all the other alts are being, because of the drop on Bitcoin dominance, all the other alts are being benefited from this. So you can see, for instance, here you have injective. You can see here that we are touching this support level. We bounce back aggressively. Link, the same story. We broke the trend line. We are above an important key level. Near, we broke trend line, trying to break this important key level. So just tell me, guys, if you want to see something specific. For instance, Solana. Here we have Solana. Solana has been here in this range for a long time. Now we're trying to go to the top of the range, and from the top of the range we have to see if we break to the upside or not. So this is going to be an important key level for Solana. FET is another one that it is also inside this range at the moment. We are respecting this key level and trying to go to the next level. So let's go quickly. I know that this has been quite long, but I want to cover as well a video of stocks to confirm this uptrend that we are having at the moment in the markets. So you can see here, for instance, Apple. Apple was heavily touched by the tariff concerns. So that's why we saw these aggressive moves to the downside for Apple. But look at, we're on pre-market time right now. We're bouncing from this. We're closed on Friday here 198. Where at the moment pre-market we're 6% up. Look, so this is an important development for stocks. Look, Apple then is staying above this key level, confirming that we want to stay above this key level and looking possibly for new higher levels. Amazon, the same story with Amazon. Look at Amazon. Amazon is jumping on pre-market hours. Amazon is jumping about 7, 8, almost 8%. It's jumping Amazon. So confirming that it will stay above this key level. You can see Coinbase is also jumping, not so aggressively, but is breaking this trend line and staying above this key level. Google is also jumping, staying above this key level, and so on and so on. You can see the same with Meta. Meta also having an important jump to the upside. So look at this, is about 7%, 6.74%, going up, staying above the key level. Microsoft, even though Microsoft have this huge gap here, because this was when we broke for the earning results. We have the earning results here that were fantastic for Microsoft. It jumped directly to the next key level, and then it didn't come down to fill in this gap. As I said, this can take times, in stocks cases months, to fill in these gaps, or might be never filled in this gap. But although it's quite huge, it is likely that it will come and fill at least partially this level, but we don't know when. It can take months until this happens. But now look, is confirming that wants to stay above this key level. Netflix, even though Netflix is overextended to the upside, is a very stock that didn't suffer too much during this process, but still going up, not so aggressively as the semiconductor companies, but still going up. Let's check Nvidia. Nvidia is also having an important bounce back. It's jumping at the moment 5%. So staying above this key level. So as I said, everything is looking positive at the moment, but stay safe. Let's pay attention to the developments as they come, and trade safe, guys, and see you in the next one. Sorry for the long video, but it was quite important to describe what was going on. All right, guys, thank you very much, and see you in the next one.